Sorry.
Maybe he likes to lift the ladies, who knows? Anyway, we're going into the picks and bans in a moment. Candy Panda on your screen there. He's been Mr. Consistent, the top KDA in EU LCS right now, and actually some of the Gambit purposely focused to try and screw his KDA over so they could get Edward top.
These teams are really starting to game around the statistics, especially the ones that have the high ones. And I mean, the KDA, having the top KDA being to an AD carry is a very common thing. I mean, over in North America, COP is out of this world with 15 or 16. Candy Panda is top, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's like they're the most successful, they're the best AD carry. It speaks to their play style. Candy Panda is very conservative with his positioning on AD carry. He really sits in the back for a while in these team fights, and he's there to clean up, but he almost never dies, which is the biggest determining factor, since it's your kills plus assist divided by your deaths. So it's really all about how cautious you play.
So here we are, the bans coming in, and straight away SK Gaming taking away Renekton from Freddy122 and Orianna removed from Ocelot. So 2 targeted bans to begin with.
I don't think Freddy112 is ever going to get to play Renekton again.
No, right? I think it was like first 2 games.
Yeah, it's his main thing, and especially now that Renekton's becoming more of a mainstream pick as well, it's not even really like having to burn a target ban. Even though it is kind of a target ban, it's like, well, this is just a powerful champion that everyone's using, and we're used to using this ban strategy and get the right heroes out of the way.
So Shinzao and Kale also taken out. Kale very much being a targeted ban, as is Shinzao. I mean, these are 2 champions that we've seen pretty regularly banned out. Shen being taken away. And Vi.
I'm a little surprised to see the Vi ban, right? Like, Shushei did not that great with it last game. They really locked in the Jarvan right away. And here it is. This is the jungle Taric. Might be a jungle or a top lane Taric.
You're excited, aren't you?
I did a little, little thing on the desk.
I thought for a moment now, I thought I had Kobe24 back next to me. It's like, woo!
It's like it's the jungle Sona and the Taric's top lane. It's like, no, you shouldn't believe everything you hear.
In the jungle? No, okay. But we are going to wait to see what SK Gaming. He gets the Ocelot immediately straight to that playbook that he has. What is he going with? Look at it, it's jotting down. People would pay good money for that.
He's like live updates on, well, those are like his pick ban history for AAA, which versus against All Authority, it's going to be all over the place. They pick different things almost all the time.
I've not seen Nef on Thresh.
No, I don't think Nif has played much Thresh.
Easy for me to say.
He's usually sticking with Sona and Zyra, the supports with the huge AoE ultimates, so now he's going to have to land some of those big hooks, and then he'll be able to fly in with the box, but I wonder how that's going to work out. You look at AAA here, and they can go anywhere, because like we said way earlier, this is the patch that is on live, so Taric has the changes in. Blade of the Rune King is hot fixed. Even though Taric has the Smite icon selected right now, that could be a top lane Taric. We could see mid lane Kha'Zix with Shleya. They have so many different things they could go with here.
Well, Nono's deciding. We know it's going to be Ezreal, Nono. Come on, stop delaying us. We know you only ever play Ezreal.
Yeah. They play Sona every time.
Sona, Corellius, and Ezreal.
That's their lane. That is what they love doing. I mean, there's no reason for them to go against it. And watch Nono in this game on Ezreal, how crazy he is with his positioning. And this is a trait that a lot of Ezreal players get into because they can get out of jail with Arcane Shift so often. They put themselves as whoa. This is going to be even better because since he's used to playing Ezreal, he gets into bad positions. And if he doesn't have the Arcane Shift to get out of that, Vayne's just going to pop because you see this out of a lot of Ezreal players.
Oh.
Yeah, they're just like, I can be here as an AD carry. Oh, wait, I'm a different AD carry this time.
Yeah, it's not going to work. It's going to backfire. And there is Caitlyn Panda being selected. Looks like it's almost certainly going to go in there. Who's checking it? Well, it's Candy Panda. He hasn't even got his hand on his keyboard, so he's not changing. He's ready with that one. Thresh going to be joining him. Sounds that lane. Will they go 2v1? Or are they thinking, oh, well, if they're picking a Rumble, I think they're expecting a 2v1.
That's Elise mid. Ocelot's played a lot of AP Elise. That's actually the champion he was on when they got backdoored in Katowice. I just remember because that's such a memorable game.
Yeah, it was.
So Rumble, Kevin, consistency, try to get in on that. Jarvan jungle, very common for them. This is the kind of generalist, solid team comp you can see from SK that they're just kind of waiting for AAA to try to outplay them on. They have a nice mix of damage because they went double AP after the Taric pick, which is a very common and smart thing to do. They're going to make sure that the armor aura doesn't just overpower them, and I like that.
Okay, and it's looking like Carver's final pick in the mid lane. Waiting to see whether Corellius locks it in. He does.
So this is interesting because the last time AAA won a game in the LCS, they had Shleya on Kha'Zix in the top lane, and then they had Freddy, Elise in the mid. And here, the first trade has Shleya on Kha'Zix and Freddy on Karthus. So is Freddy now their mid laner? Like, is this what's happening? And Schley is just going to go flying off to top. Do we have to update our graphics?
Did nobody tell us? Yeah, nobody tell us. Nobody told us. And nevertheless, we do have a dropout. So Freddy has dropped out. Obviously, couldn't switch out. So maybe
something happened.
Well, obviously, it was Freddy on the thing. I'm going to guess they were trying to switch, just as a guess, because maybe Freddy's like, nah, I really don't want to play Karthus. I'd much rather play the Flying Bug.
Yeah, well...
Is that the right phrase for Kha'Zix? Gonna call him a Flying Bug.
You call him like a Rainbow Scyther.
A Rainbow Scyther? Wow. Yeah. That's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep, ladies and gentlemen. So there are the two teams setting themselves up. SK came in, of course, color coordinating with the color they're going to be playing today. Blue side. We have seen the blue side winning once today. Over at MLG Dallas, the North American League of Legends Championship Series. There is Candy's Panda on the desk. Actually, it's on Ocelot's desk. It is Candy Panda, though.
Yeah, and I've just heard word from our statistician Quickshot that in the qualifiers, Freddy112 went 1v2 Karthus bot lane.
But what did
Freddy122 do?
Ah. Yes, he did, actually.
Freddy 1v2, what about Freddy 122? Is that what you just...
His name is Freddy122, not Freddy112.
Oh. All right. Sure. Right. Just pick on the guy who just hasn't casted the EU LCS again.
I'm gonna have
didn't have the name just right, man.
I'm gonna have the same thing when I go to North America next week. So who knows? There is Kevin on your screen. One of the men we've been trying to get on the analysis desk, but he's very resistant right now. We're gonna have to break him down, break down his barriers. There is Hercubot, who played Nasus for the very first time last Super Week. Actually, his first ever game, and we were talking about that, that game, and you were saying, look, Nasus not really that difficult a champion. If you can you have to land a slow, you land a big hit.
Especially for the pro players, right? It's the fact that there's these super technically complex champions like Elise, where you have 7 spells and different cooldowns to manage and all these crazy skill shots and stuff. And you look at Nasus, and it's like, if you are a pro and you know the fundamentals of the game very well, Nasus is really just all about positioning and judging, because you walk into people, you slow them from range, you Q things, and you put down a giant circle that's an instant cast, right? Like, it's not a super complicated thing to pull off, but it's really all about just your execution.
Yeah, it's a pretty quick jungler these days as well, Nasus.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, right, Europe has been playing a lot of Nasus. North America's really not touched it, and Korea wasn't touching it either.
It's really just one of those things. I wonder if it's going to be a Volibear type thing, like everyone just follows what Diamond Prox does. And I have a sub theory on this one, actually.
Okay.
That Nasus and Volibear, specifically Nasus though, is also very successful because they're bringing Ghost out of the jungle. I feel like Ghost is a much better summoner spell than people are giving it credit for, and Gambit Gaming's the first one to realize it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Genji's been bringing Ghost Cleanse on his AD carries. So many things have these targeted leaps as well as a flash that the only way a jungler's actually going to be able to get a kill is if they ghost through, because that's the only way you can close the distance of a double gap closer. You get Ghost for so long, and it's so fast, and it's on a shorter cooldown than Flash, so you can over-gank people. Like, you Ghost one time, get a kill through a Flash, then your Ghost is up again way before their Flash is.
And they're just trying to see how big they can get him as well, because obviously he uses ultimate. They put the wild growth on him while he's ghosting through. He's just an enormous big dog.
Slowing people. Giant dog. Like a St. Bernard, as you'd like to say.
St. Bernard.
Yeah.
If you go American. St. Bernard is the correct term, ladies and gentlemen, if you are from England.
Or the proper way of saying it.
No, that is the proper way. The Queen's English. As spoken.
The only English that matters.
This is the only English right now. There is Virtual on your screen. What is he gonna change? Is he gonna evolve? He was a man that came into it really late on for Against All Authority in the qualifiers, having to replace Linak, and really has stepped up to the plate. But the question is, now he's in the big time. Can he just go that little bit further?
I missed the name at the start.
Virtual.
Virtual, yes. That's true. He hasn't had much experience, right? He's the newest member of Against All Authority, so he's the one that's had to adapt the most, and he's got the jungle Taric, which is going to be the exciting thing. This is the first jungle Taric we're going to get to see in the LCS. I don't think it got played at all during MLG last night. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of it, personally. Yes. I know that it gets a lot of play in a lot of places, and it's very, very good. It's just the ganks are extremely strong, and then the auras he brings in a team fight, since the jungle Taric can build the armor to get the armor aura more powerful, is just really strong.
The thing is, this is actually a champion I kind of expected Fnatic to bring out, because the very day of 3.03 being released, we had N-Rated here on the analysis desk, and he was bursting to tell me about Taric and like how he can be just so strong in the jungle or the top lane.
Yeah.
So whether that's SOAS or Cyanide going, ooh,
Well,
or
the thing
whether
is,
Fnatic likes to be, N-Rated likes to theorycraft a lot.
and I mean, he's the one who does Blitzcrank in the top
Yes.
lane. He picks up champions so ridiculously quickly in the top lane. Fnatic is probably going to play it too, right? We just haven't seen
Maybe.
it yet. AAA is the first ones to pick it up. Yeah, maybe. We don't want to give away too much. We can't spoil the future, fortunately, because we don't know what's going to happen yet. But I think it's going to happen.
But you do have a crystal ball with you. It did get through customs, didn't it?
Yeah, so they're going to play it.
We are just waiting. They've actually dropped out of Picks and Bans twice, so we're just not sure why, but they have the
We will
switch
be
you,
in
I guess.
soon.
Soon. You
is
can
what
see
I'm
it
gonna
on their
say.
screens. You can see it
Yeah.
on Candy Banner's screen. It is
Here
just
comes the load
loading
screen.
right now, and that's his, looks like some sort of communications in the background, and there is all the microphones so you can hear these players now and again. No, settling himself up with their 3 headsets on. Of course, they have the in-ear, the in-bud ear system so they can hear the communications. The microphone around the neck, which is generally their sponsor for some reason. And, of course, great big headsets, which are pretty much helicopter headsets, I believe.
Noise
if I'm not mistaken.
cancelers right there.
Straight noise cancelers so they can shut me and Jan basically out.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the whole reason for it.
The players hate us that much that they have to put these huge headsets on. That's basically the
It might have something to do with like giving away strategy and positioning or something, but it's mostly
It's because they hate us.
the annoyance.
That's a lie, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, they all love us. We are going into the game. You can see it on their screens, and we will have it on our screens in a moment. It is going to be SK Gaming as the blue team, and the red team will be Against All Authority. Good luck, have fun. Trading between the two teams, and here we go. So what are we expecting, Jan? What are we seeing?
So the first thing I see is double red elixirs on SK Gaming. They got one on Kevin for Rumble, and Jarvan, Ocelot, who we didn't notice this in the picks and bans because we're off on all these kinds of channels. Ocelot's mid with Jarvan, and it's a jungle Elise.
What?
They did a lot of swapping and stuff, and it is Freddy on Karthus, as well as Schleia on Kha'Zix, so
Holy
a lot of
moly.
things are about to happen. Holy moly is right.
Yeah, this is very new territory for many different champions right now. I have never, ever seen Ocelot playing out. I'm sure the hundreds of thousands of you that do watch Ocelot stream are probably going to go, but he plays this all the time. Well, unfortunately, I don't get a chance to watch all of the streams. There is quite a lot that happens during a week here. We do see some good dancing from a pink Jarvan. Pink Jarvan? It's a pink Taric of the 5th, Armor of the 5th Age. Good lord, that's easy for me to say.
Very easy for you to say. And look at this, 3 wards from SK, just the one from Against All Authority, but SK's not doing anything aggressive, so that's actually, if you think of it, now 4 wards from SK, 225 gold, really devoted just for that early vision. So if they don't get anything out of that, that's about half a kill of wards they actually just placed down on the map.
So as it stands, we are possibly going to see Schleia. Where is Schleia going? Is he going to be bottom lane?
I think it's going 1v2 bot.
I think it's going to be, yeah, Freddy went, so as you mentioned, have they made a switch, and we
Freddy's mid lane.
and not told us and basically said, yeah, Freddy is now our mid laner. This seems to be working for us well.
Well, a lot of the teams that go up against All Authority say that Freddy is pretty much their strongest player, right?
Yes.
And teams that are struggling like to have a huge presence in the mid lane to try to pick everything else up, so maybe that's a good sign.
Maybe it seems to be working, so we'll see how Karthus versus Jarvan works out in this mid lane. Down the bottom, it is going to be Schleia, the normal mid laner, on Kha'Zix versus a Thresh and Caitlyn. And the top lane looking like it's going to be Rumble versus Vayne and Sona.
So the first thing I think is going to happen in this game, they're going to try to deny Kevin for quite a while. Taric's going to come around with double buffs, and they're going to try for a gank. But because of that, Hercubot started at the red buff with his jungle Elise, so he'll be there to meet that pressure. With the way the junglers are going here, Hercubot picking up this blue buff, Virtual picking up the red buff. Kevin did start with a red elixir, so he's have a pretty good chance of sorting this gank out. We'll see what ends up happening here.
Okay, so the Taric jungle is something the guys in the solo queue may well have seen a lot of, but we haven't seen much of at all on stream. Take us through, what were they normally going to level through on this one? How's he going to go?
They pretty much still max the Shatter first. It clears the whole camp. They generally rely on Madrid's Razor to just auto-attack the camps down. They go attack speed rune, so they actually clear fairly well. It's not the fastest jungler, but it's just the fact that it's a Taric with a targeted stun coming out of the jungle. He can heal himself. He doesn't need to get health potions after the first run with his Butcher's Blade. That's why it's good.
Well, the hook lands on towards Schleia there, forces him back. Piltover just missed out, but the Ignite was used up, and it's taken him incredibly low, and that is the turret already gone down in that top lane. The pressure in the top lane is enormous.
No, that was a turret
it's a turret
taking
kill.
down
What the hell?
Nif. Is what happened in
I was
that
actually
top
looking
lane.
at it and seeing red. I was thinking, is that the turret just... No, the turret's...
Yeah, so he took too many turret hits, and Schlea was not able to get any damage down on him, so he just ended up getting executed.
Yeah, confusing myself there because I wasn't expecting a pro player to do that. I just assumed the turret in the top lane had gone down when I saw the turret sign. I thought that was pretty quick. But no, it was not.
No, he held it off at that point. But Candy Panda didn't really get charged farm for that. He's at 20 minion kills. He's the 4th one down. So unfortunately, we still do have this bug on you guys. But here comes a gank in the
And that's going to be landing. It's Herkybot though. If Freddy's going to put the aggression back down on him, he's still keeping the layways going. Flashes finally tried to hold out for the last minute there, but he did need to use it. And Herkybot putting the pressure down on mid lane.
Yeah, so that gank burning the flash, and that's going to be really tough for Freddy. He does have the exhaust for the next time they go aggressive on it, but Ocelot should be trying to punish Freddy pretty heavily there.
So we'll see whether Nif does manage to land any more of those hooks. The pressure continuing on this bottom lane from Candy Panda. How are they looking? 28 to 30 CS between the two AD carries. And the top lane, or solo laners, 14 to 24. That's a big difference already.
Yeah, but SK wants to finish off this turret. It's a 3-for-1 stack, and Schlea pretty much just has to give up this turret entirely. But Virtual has not been anywhere around on Taric yet, so the turret that Kevin is holding really hasn't taken much damage. This is a big advantage for SK.
But what I should also point out as well, we are going to see potential gank of the top. In fact, we almost certainly will see it. And as you mentioned, that targeted stun, it's the easiest stun to land. You click and press on someone.
So really, SK is accepting his fate here. Kevin's got to get out of here before they can stun him and give up his turret, because there's first blood. They're going to get 2 turrets out of this.
They keep pushing here, and the SK Gaming are on towards his bottom turret. Meanwhile, the top turret has got pressured, and well, Kevin has backed away from that one. Virtual's come around, so they're going to keep on pushing that lane. Freddy was about to go across, but they are going to lose that inner turret. There's nothing they can do about it, so they are going to lose 1 turret in this effective race down the side lanes.
Yeah, that is a bad trade for Against All Authority. This is what we saw last game, but flipped. You know, the 2 turrets for the 1 turret flipped. Dragonborn's got the 2 turrets and then couldn't hold. But because SK did this on the blue side, after taking power through the top lane, they're going to get a dragon out of it too. And now it's all going to be about whether Kevin can hold off the 3-man push in the top lane. I think Ocelot should go help him and save this turret, but we'll see what happens.
And it's looking like it's going to be that. Now we do see Ocelot is thinking about coming around the side there, but Kevin's reported that they have indeed backed away, so Ocelot continues the farm. 43 CS to 43, effectively the 2 mid laners, but Schlea off in that side lane has done a very good job at keeping that farm going with 26 to 23, the 2 side laners.
Yeah.
Are we going to call them the side
like
laners?
calling them
because
side laners.
then really the positions change a lot. Freddy getting caught by Ocelot there. And Ocelot doing a very good job here in the mid lane against Freddy.
He's really just bullying him around. They got the gank that came in early from Herkybot, which burned Freddy's flash, and Ocelot has been able to just keep him at his turret. And Freddy's missed a fair amount of minion kills for a Karthus, right? He's only down 6 to Ocelot, but the fact that Ocelot has just been able to stand there and auto attack, melee versus ranged, shows how well Jarvan's been doing.
Yeah, I should point out, you can't make it out on the screen, but the 53 in the mid for SK. Meanwhile, the 49, which has just been moved to the middle by our cameraman, is indeed Freddy.
Yeah, sorry about this, guys. So the way the sides work, since we don't have the pictures because of this unfortunate thing that's happened, it's always top laner, then jungler, then mid laner, then AD, then support. So if you can follow that at some point throughout the game, that might help a little bit.
Yeah, it's also confused us because we have Freddy 1-2-2 as the side lane, so the cameraman's just having extra work for this match, so we'll give him a little bit of a leeway. As it stands, Candy Panda has moved in towards this mid lane along with Nif. They are 2-1 up in turrets. That does obviously give them that gold advantage. They did pick up the dragon. We see the blue buff going to Freddy 1-2-2 here, but can they afford to try and dazzle around here? Because we do see Nif, he thought about coming across to get the steal. They were still trying to go for it.
And SK might try to get the hook on to Freddy, but he's still in trouble. He might have to flash away.
The cocoon comes in there, and there's the Piltover landing as well. Freddy Ace in the hole's going to come through. It's Nif that actually picked up the kill. Herkybot taking the damage. Requiem's going to come out, but they should be safe from this one. Repels away from the damage.
Did he repel? Yeah, I didn't know you could repel away from that damage. I had to check. There's confirmation as they dive top.
And there's going to be Ocelot jumping in there on towards Nono. The Ignite is burning. One more hit should do it. Can he come around, get that Dragon Strike in? That's all he wants to do. Misses out the Dragon Strike.
But Nono still in a bit of trouble. Ocelot's out of mana, though, so he's going to have to fall back. I love how much pressure SK Gaming is putting on Against All Authority right now. AAA is right on their back foot, and this is SK's team play and all the practice Ocelot was talking about earlier, just coming in. They're forcing the pressure so much, and Against Authority has no answer yet.
Corellius getting pulled in, just a straight Piltover coming across him. Virtual taking down the red buff. Hercubot actually around taking that blue down, so they're keeping the blue on towards the Spider and jungle.
Yeah, and that's pretty good. Ocelot doesn't necessarily need it, but look at this top lane interaction. Kevin is between two members of Against All Authority, but they just do not have the ability to turn it on him.
Well, Kevin thinking about going for this one. He does have Schlayer nearby, so he has to be a little bit cautious as he tries to make this approach. Now he's got freedom. He sees him in the mid lane. He comes around and gets the flame spitter going on towards Freddy. He actually lands the equalizer down there. Does manage to miss one of the harpoons, puts the ignite down and realizes this is not a close fight. Suddenly he's losing out. He's going to flash for it. Can he get the layways down? Harpoon comes in. No, he still can't get the damage down.
Yeah, and still 70 seconds left on Freddy's Karthus ultimate, so they both just decide to walk away. That's actually a win for Freddy, because the entire Rumble ultimate was burned during that exchange. Overall, though, that's still way too much pressure for AAA or Against All Authority to deal with, as this mid turret is continually being assaulted.
Yeah, Schlayer's trying to keep them back with them Void Spikes. Corellius helping out, but already down half the hit points on that, and Ocelot's still keeping the pressure on towards Nono in that top lane, looking like he's maybe going to go towards the golems, and look at this, he's coming around the backside. Can he dive on towards Nono? It's a dangerous, dangerous thing, especially that close to the wall.
Yeah, and Vayne with ult and flash, Ocelot can't do much. They spotted him out. Tell him to be careful.
They know that he's there, and there is Ocelot coming back around. Mid lane, look at this turret, almost down. The hook landed on towards Virtual, but is it the one you want to pull in? I'm not too sure. Nif has to pull the box down, flashes out of it, the ignite is on him. He's going to try and shield this one out. He has got away from this one. Requiem is available, it should finish off the kill. Slayer does manage to take down Hercubot as well. Is he going to pop the Requiem? Is he going to go for it? He could get a free kill, but I think he's left it too late.
It still needed a couple seconds on the Requiem cooldown. Now it's off, but Nif is back in base. I don't think he's going to pull the trigger. It's a good thing if Freddy saves that one. He realized that he would be back in base. They did finally turn around something very slight in that one, right? A 4 for 3. They're going to be able to get this one out, but the pressure, I feel, is really immense for them right now. AAA has to stall for the late game. They're like Vayne, Kha'Zix, Karthus would be good in the late game, but the fact that Virtual on the jungle Taric hasn't really made a presence yet. Like when I've seen jungle Taric work, D-Man, it's almost like turning another lane into a 2v1. He camps top lane brushes, he ganks mid a whole bunch, but really all Virtual's been doing this far is just farming.
He's been farming because the rest of his team has just fell behind in all the lanes, it seems. He's not really having any chance to do anything different. Schlayer has started to come into this one. He has got that brutalizer, he has got the Tear of the Goddess, so it's going to start causing problems, you feel. Schlayer finally going to get back into this one. Top lane, very low. Ocelot's been up here a very long time, and farming-wise, has gained that advantage. 103, 108 CS as he just wipes out with a big dragon strike through the middle there. We do it against 92 of Freddy122, who has been a little bit busy.
Freddy112 has been a little busy farming those lanes. I think that's what you said. Nope, not what you said. Shaking his head.
Freddy122. Damn you, he was even on my screen.
Freddy122, I mean, maybe he's just going to change. He's a mid laner now.
Them numbers.
So he's in the one lane. Nah, I can't save it.
I can't save it. It does mean the middle turret goes down and the hook lands again. It's Corellius that gets pulled in, but the Piltover didn't quite land on him, and they're going to turn a burn towards the dragon and just spawned.
And they are on top of pink wards, but they don't care. They're clearing the ward from Against All Authority. AAA all trying to run down. This could be our first 5v5 fight. The gold is actually pretty heavily in SK's favor right now. Sunfire Cape on Ocelot means he's very strong for this next fight, but no magic resist. SK really wants to fight here. I wonder if AAA can fight them back. All ultimates are up on both sides.
Candy Panda is actually out of position here. I think he's going to maybe know to kill, but now no, it looks like Against All Authority have just backed off.
They're really trying to play the slow game here. That's now a 3,000 gold disadvantage because they've already lost their outer turrets here. They can't control their blue either. If they don't fight for the dragon, they better not fight for their blue.
You can see the Demacia standard goes down. Pop a ward in there. Schlayer is just off the side. He wants to try and Void Spike it out. They want to make sure they don't lose out this blue buff. So, as you mentioned, they are going to force it. They are still all around there.
There they go.
Corellius, they're going to dive in as the Mash is standing diving in. Equalizer pops across. Freddy122 drops instantaneously. There's going to be Ocelot. Is the Requiem going to be enough? He may well pick up one kill. Should he get the second? No, because he got interrupted, I feel. And now Nif in trouble. He's going to have to try and get away. Demacia strike away from Ocelot. He turns it around, tries to hook it. Oh, he tried to get the kill on towards Corellius, put the ignite down, but it wasn't enough. And that was a good turnaround from Against All Authority.
That was a great fight for them. The fact that Freddy122 was the first one to get bursted down in that fight, everyone got stuck on his Defile that fight. So maybe the fact that they fought for their blue instead of the dragon was very smart, because that's a much bigger choke, and no one could avoid Karthus once he went down. Good fight for them. Gold's like 2,000 away, and the fact that they got the double kill onto Nono's Vayne is also great for them.
So Candy Panda back in this mid lane, protecting it away from Slayer, trying to keep him off. So look at these differences though. We've talked about how Mr. Consistent Kevin has been so great, but look how far behind he is. 55 CS to 106, that's huge.
And it's strange because Slayer lost 2 turrets right at the start of the game, but he's been able to farm out so much from them. Kevin, meanwhile, has spent most of his time trying to pick up kills in strange places, so he hasn't been focusing very much on farming, and he might get stunned into a wall flash.
The ulti comes out from Nono. He's going to chase this one through, and it's going to be the overheat from Kevin. He could just pin him on the wall here. One more shot. Yes, he does. It tucks the barrier up, and he takes him down in a straight-up 1v1. The hook on Slayer, meanwhile, in the top lane. Is Ocelot going to be able to drive this one through? No. Slayer just jumps away, pops the void spikes, and says, get the hell away from me.
So Nono made the big play. Nif tried to answer it in the top lane, but they might get the turret out of this one. Corellius down bottom trying to deal with Hercubot as well, so a lot of poking going on up top, but this could be turret number 4 for SK.
So Vayne at 3-0 has got that Blade of the Rune King Thorn space, still not gone for the boots. This is something we've seen a lot of from Against All Authority.
It's the strange thing, they play on their back foot so much as,
wow, Corellius, oh, is he gonna get away from it? I think he might do. The Dazzle comes out, no, Demacia down and catches him out. They're diving towards Virtual, but they're not gonna tower dive this one. Freddy122 is coming up the river, and we do have Slayer coming in.
Yeah, but Freddy122, I think you just said 112.
No, I didn't.
I think you just said it.
Like,
we'll watch the VOD. No, but Freddy122 got seen by the ward coming up here, and it's a good thing he didn't go in because I feel like that would have been suicide. The no boots, getting back to that, AAA plays on their back foot so much, they don't really take advantage of the move speed, right? They're sitting back and trying to farm. That's one of the reasons, really, that Nono... I was going to make a point, it's not there. I was going to say that Nono has been able to outfarm Candy Panda, but that just hasn't been the case.
It just hasn't been the case, but I think Gold probably is just edging him, maybe ever so slightly. We did see the Infinity Edge coming out from Candy Panda. Another BF sword picked up. I guess that maybe the Bloodthirster is probably going to go to Nono there. Rather than picking up the boots, though, Berserker Greaves, which he could have gone with, preferred to happily go for another big damage item.
I'm thinking Nono might just be going for an Infinity Edge with that one, and if he picked up the BF sword, it was because of the gold breakpoint. He doesn't have... It's not every day you go back to base with 1,500 gold.
Yeah.
Or 1,450 gold, which is how much a BF sword is. So he'll be getting his boots soon, and Candy Panda is up about 500 gold on him, but he's just free farming a little bit with Vayne. Against All Authority, even though it seems like they're playing a little bit scared, pick that one fight well. Oh, and they know what they're doing, it seems, in this game. They are stalling for a late game push. It will be on SK to aggress.
We see the lantern thrown out. We do see Ocelot pulling back on there, looking like a masquerade ball coming out for SK Gaming as those 2 Haunting guys and Sorcerer's Shoes have been bought out by Hercubot and Kevin. Maybe they're going to have a little dance later on.
They are just going for the Magic Pen and the double AP right now. The interesting thing about this is in the picks and bans, before SK decided to swap Jarvan into the middle and Elise into the jungle, is it was more of a double AP composition than it is now. Hercubot's not going to get nearly as much farm on Elise in the jungle as Ocelot would have gotten with Elise in the mid lane. So the Taric pick actually becomes better in that situation because he's going to be blocking more of Ocelot's primary team damage.
Well, Against All Authority, looking like they're feeling confident here. They have that 5-4 kill advantage. They are 4-1 down in turrets, but despite that massive turret disadvantage, they are very close in gold.
Yeah.
Just 1,000, well, 2,000 between the two.
A lot of that is just the 60 minions that Schleia is ahead of Kevin with. His Kha'Zix is farming up a storm with his Evolved Void Spikes, and it does look like Against All Authority is finally putting some pressure back on. They don't actually need to do this. They're comfortable sitting here and farming. They're hoping SK overcommits him to fight again, and they can catch them in Freddy122's Defile.
Well, Schleia was about to head off down south, but they wards kind of showed his position there, and SK came well aware of the fact that he has come back 40 seconds before the Dragon is about to be up. There's a big wave on that top lane that I feel Against All Authorities might want to go deal with. Freddy is going to head up that way, so we do see Against All Authorities backing off here. They have 30 seconds to react to this Dragon, though.
Yeah, they're going to have to go up there really fast. You can see they're all going back to base as well. They're hoping that SK doesn't peel for it immediately. But in the process of everyone prepping for that potential Dragon fight, they might give up a window to their own middle turret, which they have to be extremely careful of.
SK Gaming do look like they want to try and create something here. They have the super wave coming in. The super wave is just a minion wave. It's nothing super about it. Virtual does come straight through. Dazzles on. Lantern has been pulled out. Candy Panda with a couple of shots, but Against Authorities successfully defend out that wave, and now the Dragon has spawned.
And they're in position to contest it if they so choose. The only issue here is they don't have vision of the Dragon area. SK is much more warded. They saw the ward just get placed down in there, so SK has vision of the vision until they kill it with Nif's Oracle. So complete vision denial here, and they're hoping Against All 30 goes in, but now AAA's got the turret.
No doing the damage on the turret. The hook lands on towards Freddy 122, but that's pulling him into the team. The Defile is in there. He gets bounced up. If he just flashes into the team, he's going to get on everyone. Defile down. They're going to have to evacuate here. You can see Against All Authorities. Oh, Candy Panda's gone down. Kevin and Nif very, very low here, just off the side. No's trying to get a shot on towards him. The Cocoon comes across. Nif with that Oracle has backed away, but it was a 3-for-2 to SK Gaming.
Ooh, super close fight there. Nono went around the other side of the Wraith Brush, so they weren't comboed with Freddy and Vayne in the same spot. A small win for SK, but that was a very dangerous fight. The fact that Vayne is now 4-0 cannot bode well for SK. Ocelot won't be able to dive and kill him at the end of the game if he gets too fed on Vayne.
No, I feel they could have maybe gone and tried to solo out that Dragon between the two of them. I feel the Jury Lane maybe went for it because they sent SK back very low in health.
And especially with the Blade of the Ruined King, it was taken down in the hotfix, but it still does 60 extra damage a hit on every attack to the Dragon, as long as it's not too low because of the current health proc on that item. So they probably would have been able to get that, but Nono was more interested in getting this top wave of farm. Like individually for the Vayne, that double or triple wave up top is going to give him close to like 600 gold. The team gold from the Dragon would be 975, but Nono's more concerned with just getting big on Vayne.
And he's going to have to get that top wave very quick and run straight down towards this Dragon, because you can see SK Gaming immediately responding, getting straight back in now. That Oracle on there, if they're going to clear out the ward that we just saw Virtual putting down in there. And Against All Authorities are a long way from this.
There's no way Against All Authority is contesting this. They pretty much sealed the fate as soon as Nono went to clear the top wave. They said, that Dragon's gone. We did lose a fight. We have to give up that objective. And it might be turtle time for them again. They tried a little bit of aggression. They realized it wasn't quite working. Ace in the hole flies out and hits Freddy, but it's turtle time again for Against All 30. And SK has shown that they can't really push through unless they get something miraculous. Oh, like that!
The hook lands on towards Freddy. He's going to pull him in. Second very low, but he didn't get dropped. The crescendo wasn't available yet from Corellius. It's going to be up in a moment, but Freddy 122 has been sent packing. He's going to go back to his base, but that is another wave cleared out, and SK Gaming trying to push in. Nono picking up the red buff, desperately trying to get in there. Once he gets that red buff in, I feel they may well engage. Crescendo is up in a couple of seconds. We may see some sort of engagement coming out from Against Authority.
I gotta say though, Nono has to shop. He's on 2,500 gold right now. Candy Panda has the Infinity Edge and the Zeal, so he is much more efficient with his gold right now. Against Authority has to find a way out of this pressure. They lose the turret, they can't engage.
And they do pull in Corellius, but it does mean the rest of SK back off with a successful hit and run, taking down that inner turret, taking them to 5-2 in turrets, and you do see him go back straight away. Infinity Edge, Blade of the Ruined King, and some little boots.
25 movement speed. He's got the boots on 1 foot right now. Needs to get the second pair if he wants to run real fast. Don't do that. Don't budge your boots. But Against All Authority, gonna try a bit of a counter push now. They need to start getting some turrets back. The fact that they're down 5-2 does not bode well for them. They are powering up a little bit. They need to get an Aegis of the Legion completed onto Taric so they can start really auraing up. But if Nono stays safe in fights and Freddy positions in the right spots, that 3,000 gold advantage will mean very little for SK come teamfight time.
We are seeing the damage item starting to be picked up by Slayer as well. He's got himself the BF sword, that Hex drink he had early on with the Brutalizer. Now with that BF sword. Could be a potential gank here on Nif. They do manage to get the Wall of Pain down and a quick leg waste, but not enough to do the damage. It just shields himself out there. They were trying to pull something out, but Nif quickly pulled out the danger.
Yeah, I thought Nif was going to be walking more towards the banana brush there over on the left, but he decided to ward over the top, only getting spotted by the Wall of Pain from Karthus. And Here we have against Authority, I think they're still waiting on items. They really want to pick up more farm. They're channeling so much of it just into their solos. It seems like Virtual's pretty much stopped farming, which is really delaying their Aegis and Legion, which they need quite badly to deal with the Rumble and Elise damage, but they got a lot of time. SK's already taken down most of the turrets that are attractive or easy to take down, so unless SK starts forcing and pressuring around the Baron, against Authority's not going to move.
So, as we see the game starting to slowly pon in towards the end game, 23 minutes in, Static Shift just being picked up. Who is going to really benefit if this game goes long?
I think it's against Authority. I mean, the fact that they have the Karthus sitting in the middle of the team and the dive that SK has to get onto Vayne is Jarvan and Elise. Elise coming out of the jungle, going defensive with an Aegis of Legion, tells me that Nono would be able to take both of them on in an ideal scenario once he gets his items. Whether that happens or not, whether Nono has the Vayne mechanics that everyone talks about, since he's normally an Ezreal player, is yet to be seen. But if the game keeps stretching, I feel like against Authority we'll have it.
Well, as it stands, SK Gaming have kind of shown their hand here. Kevin was up the top lane farming out. They saw that Nif and Ocelot were going up towards their own jungle. They've all passed the wards, and you can see against Authority saying, yeah, we're going to go straight down your mid lane. You've only got 3 members here. Don't feel you can defend this one out there. Oh, Corellius, I tell you what, he could have flash ulted there, and he would have caught 3 of them dancing away. I'm not too sure if the rest of the team would have reacted, though. Just in simple reaction speeds, and sometimes you see those support players and their team cooperating with. Don't know whether it's quite there with against an Authority yet, but they are taking SK Gaming for a run for their money. This is probably the closest I've seen these two teams go.
There's the stun on to Virtual. Will SK try to go in off it, or is it a counter engage?
Is it going to be a counter? It's not really the person you want to go for. There's Freddy immediately flashing in. He's going to land the Defile down. Wall of Pain. He does finally get dropped, and the Defile is going to be enough. They're going in towards Ocelot. No is going to take him down. Slayer now jumps in. Can he get the reset? No, he can't. It was Kevin who wanted it, but immediately Candy Panda lays down the damage, and that was an even trade 2 for 2.
And look how low Nono got in this fight. He was sitting on top of the equalizer. He's at 80 health right now, and that's after regenning back up during the fight. The Ignite nearly ticked him down. That was just a fight that showed how close the game is, right? Both teams kind of just clashed into each other straight up. Came away with a 2 for 2. Freddy's gonna get his death cap pretty soon. Ocelot wasn't able to do much, despite being a mid lane Jarvan in that fight. He dove on Nono as pretty much his only task and couldn't even take him down with the Rumble ult assisting. So that would be setting off some warning signs for SK. I almost feel like they have to start doing something creative if they want to win this game.
So how do you feel with Jarvan's build? But bearing in mind he has been a mid lane Jarvan. Do you feel he needs to go a little bit more damage, a little bit more tanky? You can see he's obviously got the Ward Mail, the Sunfire Cape. He's going a little bit more tanky at the moment. He's only got the Brutalize in there really for major damage. Should he go for more damage, or should he be that tanky mid laner?
I think he really needs the Randwinds, first off, to slow down Nono, getting the current health procs out of every hit from his Blade of the Ruined King. After that, he's got to go for damage. I think if Ocelot were to just think of the game again, realize Vayne will be powering up and the thing to worry about, and just restart, he wouldn't have went for the Sunfire Cape. The Sunfire Cape's more about just sitting in the team and being a giant over time thing, but he's actually got to burst down the Vayne at this point. So he does have to complete his Randwinds, then he's got to get damage.
And that seems to be what he's doing with that Warden Mail on there. As it stands, we do see a Rabadon's Death Gap potentially coming out from Freddy very soon.
Yeah, he's got enough for it right now if he goes back and shops, but he's continuing his farm for other reasons. Maybe he's going for a DFG or something, I can't really be sure. Or they're just worried about the Baron pressure since they don't have many wards in the area aside from the one in the back of the pit.
I'm intrigued the fact that Nono, realizing that the boots aren't going to do a great deal. The fact that he's just gone straight for that Giant Spot, it's like, I'm going to get jumped on regardless. There's nothing I'm going to do, so I need something to just stay alive while I'm pounced on.
I think it's really smart. He knows he's the focus. He had enough for the Berserker's Greaves as well, but the Giant's Belt was, again, he's buying the most expensive item that he can at the time, and then he's finishing the small components later.
So the Dragon was picked up there again by SK Gaming. That does give them a bit more of a developed gold lead here. 40.4 to 37,000, so just a 3.5k lead as it stands, and the Oracle clearing out the Baron pit.
And here's the weirdest thing about this 3,500 gold advantage that SK has. If we look at the gold on Nif versus Corellius, it's a 2,000 gold difference. But you look at the items on Nif and Corellius, and until a second ago, Nif didn't have that Locket of the Iron Solari, so only now is that 2,000 gold advantage actually paying off for any items. Previously, they were all just sitting on Kindle Gems and Boots. it seemed like Nif was spending so much on wards, but he saved up enough to get the Lock of the Iron Solari, so finally, the gold advantage might be a bigger ploy.
The Runic Bulwark also come out on Hercubot. Looks like the Runic Bulwark will come out for Virtual in a short while. Meanwhile, they're both teams making use of those oracles and clearing out what wards they can. Schleier's protecting the mid lane, acting as that human ward, just keeping them at bay. Hercubot seeing if he can land anything. Wall of Pain does go down. It's Virtual they're going to focus on. Has to repel away. Where's he going to go to? He can only drop down straight back in the same position. Crescendo comes out. Hercubot is going to get dropped before the fight even begins. And now Freddy122 pulled into the team there. Ocelot now gets the Cataclysm, lands on, hit and run. Gets out of there. Equalizer goes down. Oh, but you can see Schleier. He's jumping around. He did get the reset. He took down Candy Pan. Gets a double kill. His Nono comes in. Nono gets the triple kill. And that is an ace for Against All Authorities. They're going to go straight up mid. Are they going to go for the inhibitor or are they going to go Baron?
Oh my god, that fight. They have time to get the turret and then the Baron if they decide to go for it. I didn't think that initiation was going to work for Against All Authority. Corralius hit his crescendo on one, but they killed Hercubot so fast. And then when Ocelot locked everyone in the Cataclysm with a Rumble ult straight on top of it, I was like, they're going to burst everyone down. But Schleier was in the back line. The Karthus ult came out. Nono life stole enough with his Blade of the Ruin King and stayed alive because of his Giant spell that they could finish off the end of that fight. And this is the stretched game that SK's got to be super scared of. Now that they're probably picking up a Baron for Against All Authority, it was even Against All Authority that forced that fight, so they're clearly now in the driver's seat.
Well, they hit and run on the Baron as well, and there it is. Hercubot's going to come in, realizes he's gone. Is he going to be able to try and steal anything away? And is spotted out by the wards, so Against All Authority, just play it a little bit safer. So, gold, look at that. Bang on even between the two. 5-3 in turrets, but it's all Against All Authority now with it to lose, I think it's safe to say. With that Baron Bell for the next 4 minutes, it is their game to play.
Yep, and the auras are starting to even out as well. Corralius got his Lock of the Iron Solari. There's a Randwinds that just got completed on a no-no, so that's not going to be a fun time for Ocelot trying to dive on top of him. You can see he wasn't even sitting there to auto-attack. He was like, he ulted him, was like, that guy's too scared, I gotta get out of my ult right here. It didn't work out for them, and considering Against All Authority has been winning these fights while down in gold and without Baron buffs, the fact that they're even in gold and with a Baron buff is scary for SK.
And I gotta ask, the Thresh hooks, they are landing on Freddy and they are killing him quick, but they're pulling him into the entire team with that Defile.
It's like, that's why Karthus and multiple huge threats on the team work so well, right? If you get to the late game spot. I thought, you know, Against All Authority has been trying many different team comps. We haven't seen like a super damaged high threat team comp from them yet because those team comps are prone to falling behind early. They get out aggressed very early and they can very easily become useless. But Against All Authority has done a good enough job at playing conservatively, and SK has not punished them early on, that they're now doing whatever they want. And now that they've moved down for a red buff, SK thinking of running up top, but they've been spotted. SK's got to run.
Yeah, they are getting out of there. They realize that Against All Authorities have turned towards them. Now, AA, they could just straight up, push straight up the middle. Why not? They are stronger. They realize SK have got it back.
SK is all 5 going back to the base. How many of them are going to buy home guard boots and rush to try to stop this turret push? Because AAA is doing this without minions, so they are full taking the turret.
Home guard, home guard, home guard. Everybody quickly get in there, but it's going to be too late. Surely it's going to be the inhibitor going down. Ocelot puts the Demacia standard down, but he's like, I'm not thinking of diving into this one. It seems a little scary to go in on my own, but they do defend the turret. Only just though.
They got enough boots to guard their home, so to speak. That's 271 health left on that turret. That's a couple shots from Nono's vein. This is so tense. You can see Schleier off the screen on the minimap, wanting to jump in the back if SK does any kind of initiation. He's the one who's been deleting Candy Panda out of these games. Against All Authority just brute forces that turret down. And if SK wants to keep their inhibitor, they're going to have to deal with the fight.
They're going to have to go for it. A good equalizer, I feel, may well catch them in the right place. It's Virtual they land the cocoon onto. Not really the ideal one. Nif winding up for a hook there, but didn't go for it. And Against All Authorities, they are just going to hit and run, go down bottom, clear out the two top and bottom lanes. And I think they're going to be happy with their work.
Yeah, and look at the giant minion stack up top for Against All Authority. They need to send someone up there pretty quick. It's going to be a farm out for them right now. They got a minute left on their Baron buff. They just took all the advantages they really wanted. They're going to have that inhibitor for quite some time now. No, they're not going to shop yet. Everyone on their team is sitting on 1,400, 1,200, 1,700, 900, and 700 gold from top to bottom. So that's at least 7,000 gold they're just sitting on. So they're really relying on the last bit of this Baron buff to dissuade SK from fighting them.
And that is going to be another turret going down, so that's an in, and that's actually going to give Against All Authorities the turret lead for the first time in this game. 6-5 up, and that does take the gold, of course, a 4,000 gold advantage now for Against All Authorities. They're ahead in kills, they're ahead in turrets, and that 7-0-2 Vayne is a scary thing. But more importantly for Candy Panda, that 3-2-9 Infinity Edge Slayer is a very scary thing.
They can't deal with it, and AAA tried a little bit of a sneaky ploy there. They were hoping the Candy Pen would go out and farm the lane, since of course they're going to back up, but the ploy does not work. Freddy cleans up the dragon, and this is Against All Authorities' slow play moment. They don't have to do anything to really win this game. They just have to make sure they don't get caught out of position. They have to make sure they stay grouped up. No is so strong on Vayne. He's proving me wrong. I mean, I thought an Ezreal-only player hopping onto Vayne could be a bit of a disaster, like it's asking for trouble, but he's done a great job at just dealing with Ocelot, dealing with the Rumble ults that get thrown on him, positioning in the right places, and building really smart items for the situations that it's worked out extremely well for him.
I feel like Freddy122 is going to get a little bit closer to the screen there. You can see him on your red camera box. Oh, and he just stretches back. He's like just chilling. I got this covered. I'm going back to base. What am I going to buy?
I mean, Karthus just has to press E, flash in. I mean, this is the criticisms of Karthus. Like, you just got to flash in and press R, right? There's clearly more to it. Is he's had to survive a lane against Jarvan. Now up 80 minion kills on Ocelot and stacking out his items. He's built a Rylai's right now as well instead of a Void Staff, which is what I thought he'd be going for. We'll see how that plays in team fights. He's going to flash straight in and then hopefully help them chase people down. See how that works.
And there's Schleier's Manamune just converting into the Muramana. So Last Whisper also picked up by Candy Panda, but I feel the damage spike from Schleier is pretty huge right now. Oh, there's only 2 or 3 of them here, and look at this, Slayer. You can see his mouth's watering, my mouth's watering, that's the question. But he's going to get caught out here. He's going to have to jump away, but the ace in the hole comes out. The ultimate there was picked up. I think he went for that. Oh, the equalizer tried to pick him off. They are effectively going to have a 4v5 fight here. Is it the right situation?
They hook him.
Oh, the hook on towards Freddy. They're going to pull him in, pop the exhaust down. They pull him straight in there. Now they're going to try and turn it around. It's going to be the ultimate. The Requiem's going to go down. Ocelot's going to get dropped by that one. The damage comes out. Slayer, meanwhile, trying to pounce. No has used his ultimate there. They've seen if he can land another hook. It's currently a 1-for-1.
That was about as many good things that could happen for SK in a fight to only come out with a 1-for-1. They traded mid laner for a mid laner at the end of it, and they got another kill onto Freddy 1-1-2-2. So we'll see how that works out. They didn't really gain anything, despite everything going their way. That's a really good sign for Against All Authority.
While this is happening, Candy Panda is building up a massive CS lead now because he's had them super minions coming down the mid lane. He's clearing out this giant wave along the bottom, and you can see he's getting stronger. He's getting beastly. Is it possible that Candy Panda could beast mode up and become that godlike AD carry?
The first thing he has to do to get there is get defense, because unlike Against All Authority, they can kill him. Like, Schleia can destroy Candy Panda. Ocelot doesn't have nearly the burst that Schleia's Kha'Zix does. So if he can get like a Warmogs or Randwinds, much like Nono has gotten, then Candy Panda could power up. But he is a long ways away. And now with the Baron up, the pressure is on, because there is no way Against All Authority is going to wait long enough to fight this Baron to let Candy Panda get the items he needs.
Well, Nif clearing out those wards. Very clear play with that Oracle, making use of it. We do see the Randians now being picked up for Ocelot, so as that next fight is looking to develop, and it may well come about in a moment, we see the teams just starting to fight for positions. There's waves continuing to pressure on. Bottom wave is going to push itself. Top wave is around about even, so really it's down this middle, and Against All Authorities, they want to go for this moment, but you can see they actually still feel hesitant coming in for this Baron.
Well, they did get caught fairly heavily out of position the last time they invaded SK's jungle, so they got to be careful not to throw this game away. They're actually started the Baron right here, and they are a little split up. They have to be really careful not to get initiated in a bad spot. This could be a big fight.
Nif manages to go in, he puts the box down. The crescendo only hit Nif there. That may well be a backfire. Slayer is going to get taken down very quickly. Went in for Candy Panda, but it's no. He takes down Nif. Now he's on Candy Panda. Freddy actually down the side there, fighting off the screen, but it is going to be Ocelot keeping them at pressure. It is going to be Kevin taking down Freddy 1-2-2, but Candy Panda went down. Requiem's going to come out. Kevin's going to get dazzled out. Requiem doesn't quite finish him, but No comes in. It's a triple. It's going to be a quadra. Ocelot goes down. There it is. No limit for No.
He got so strong in this game, and the fight was decided based on the positioning and the dives on the AD carries. I thought when Kha'Zix went in early, Shlea died immediately. Candy Panda might be able to carry this, but Freddy just walked at him, and he took him out. No rolled through, got the quadra kill. They're finishing off the inhibitor, and looking at the Death Arms, it doesn't look like Against All Authority is going to try to finish this one off. They're just savoring it.
They are savoring it. They're going to take down an inhibitor 1 and 2. And there is the middle one going down. Are they going to finish it? No, they're not. They're going to back away because they realize, like you say, the death timers are up. So they're not going to be able to get that second inhibitor down. But nevertheless, they have that big advantage again. They didn't even take the Baron down in that fight either. So 20-14. 5,000 gold advantage for Against All Authority currently, and a 3-turret advantage. More importantly, the 2 inhibitor turrets down. 1 inhibitor is floored in that mid lane once again.
And the Baron is still up. So we're going to just see them clash into each other again. Look at all the wards in the Baron area right now on both sides. There's just full vision for every team. What all these guys do nowadays when they fight in these brush areas, they just over-ward during a fight so no one can brush juke. It's not as condensed an area. Only the physical impassable walls are really what they can't get by. Freddy doesn't have his flash for another 60 seconds, so I think AAA will want to wait until that happens. But the big thing is No just keeps getting more items. He's got his Phantom Dancer and an extra BF sword on top of that. So the quadra kill Vayne is poised to get another one.
Well, I think, you know, Quickshot mentioned it earlier on, the fact that he had that word with Ocelot. He said then that Against All Authorities is one of the teams he does fear down there, and maybe they are proving why. 11-0-3 No currently on Vayne. That's probably the worst score Vayne you'd ever want to come up against. He's got an Infinity Edge, a Blade of the Moon King, a Randian, so he's tanky, and now just completed the Phantom Dancer, and another BF sword. Why not?
And what's going on here? Shlea got Infinity Edge on Kha'Zix. He's gonna...
He's had it, yeah.
He's opening crits, I guess, with his auto attack, even though he's mainly a spellcaster. I'd like a Bloodthirster, but here's the wall. We might see the fight.
It is going to be Virtual going in for Nif. Nif has to use the box, throw it down. It's Freddy 1-2-2 once again in amongst them. And No just off on the side. Corellius uses that ulti. Shlea does take down the first kill. Equalizer comes down. It is going to be Candy Panda picking up one. Shlea picks up a second. Shlea goes leaping in towards Candy Panda. He's going to pursue. He manages to land the Void Spikes. The slow comes out. The jump is going to be available. Candy Panda gets the 90 caliber net. Is he slow enough? He's going to have to jump on a Void Spike on the fountain. He goes for it. Didn't quite get it. No, he's taken down, and Yeast in the hole comes out. He's going to get survived. Corellius, no. Hercubot finishes him off, but it doesn't matter because No is there, and he has taken another inhibitor and walking out of the base.
Oh my God. If Against All Authority could win this game by now, they whiffed a crescendo in that fight and still won. The pressure and just straight up damage that Freddy did to everybody in that fight let Shlea walk around and just clean up. He's got the Void Staff now as well on Karthus. No wants to sneak in and kill Hercubot. He's being greedy here. There's the ult on Vayne.
Is it a little too greedy? Here he comes. He's going to go around. It's Hercubot. Wow.
He can't go anywhere.
But where's he going to go? He's going to drop down. He's going to get dazzled. He's going to get shattered. He's going to get the lantern. And the hook on No. Is it going to be enough? Oh, no. Here comes Candy Panda. Candy Panda can turn it for a double. But look at the damage reversal straight away there. Ocelot comes in. Ace in the hole comes out. Virtual's going to get jumped up. Virtual, the greediness maybe playing down. Cataclysm on towards No. He's still managing to get away. He's taken down. Equalizer finishes him off. SK Gaming going to try and pile in.
There's 2 inhibitors down for SK, but they just cleaned up so much of Against All Authority. Will they go for a Baron, or will they try to get counter inhibitors? They have such an opportunity here because they finally taken down No's Vayne.
Oh, they realized it, and let's see the question it straight away. They've got a 40-second window. They have a few minions on their Nexus turret, but it doesn't matter. They're not going to take it down. There is going to be super minions backing it up. They're going to have to tank this one out. The hook comes thrown out there from Nif. He flashed in for this one. They have to take this inhibitor turret down. They have to force it from it, but Schlea's too much of a problem off the side there. Crescendo on towards Ocelot and Kevin. He's going to come across, but he flashes straight back. Ocelot trying to get in there. Hercubot now called out of position, and he gets pulled back by the lantern. The hook on Freddy 1-2-2. They're going to get the flame sprint, and the ace in the hole comes in. Bam! He's down. And now you're going to see Shlea jumping in. Requiem comes out. Hercubot goes down. It's a double kill. Can Shlea finish him off? He gets another. The hook comes in from Nif. Turns it back around, and he's forced backwards. It's a 4 for 3.
That death sentence flew in right at the end and got the kill. What is happening, D-Man? My voice is gone. It's cracking. It's being crazy.
This is Europe.
This is European LCS. This is Against All Authority versus SK game. This is game 2 of the week. We're just getting underway here.
We're just getting warmed up.
See what happens. And now, okay, NoNo's back up. Everyone on SK is pretty much dead. Candy Panda has to clear out Super Minions. That's the Baron for AAA.
That is going to be the Baron for AAA, no question about it. NoNo comes around, he's going to clear that one round. They've got to realize that's what's happening, so they're just going to have to try and defend the base. So, let's slow down a little bit. In the tactical position, what would have been better? Obviously, they didn't get the inhibitor. Would have been a wiser choice to go Baron a moment ago for SK Gaming.
If SK could play this again, I thought they were going to be going for the Baron. The big thing is, since they had 2 inhibitors down, they were pretty much screwed anyway. This is the wrong thing we have on the screen, guys. We need to get back to the main feed. What's happening now, though, is Against All Authority does have the Baron buff. They're back shopping, and now, thankfully, we are back on the real thing. Scared me for a minute.
We're back, but more importantly, we are back at the right point, and you can see everything on your screen, which is great. So thank you very much for production for cleaning things up. We have everyone showing, and so let's recap what is going on here. It's 8-5 in turrets, 2 inhibitors. Actually, there's 1 respawn right now, the middle one, which I expect Against All Authority to go towards. They have the Baron buff, 26-20. 5,000 in gold. This is far from over, though. SK Gaming, as you've just proven, they can turn this around. That was really down to Against All Authorities. Maybe a little bit of greediness from NoNo.
Yeah, NoNo was being a greed boy. He was 12-0. He was really happy with himself, and they decided to 2v the world in the base. It didn't work out. If Against All Authority stays together, they have the 2 inhibitors down. They have the Baron buff. Well, now it's just 1 inhibitor. They're going to be trying to clean this one out. They can win any fight. They have been doing sloppy initiations and coming out on top. If they just go in coordinated and well, they should take this one out. But SK Gaming still has their heads in the game. They're taking the opportunities. Getting back to that Baron before we had the screen scare. If SK had the Baron, I feel like they'd be turtling a lot better right now. But because they don't, it's tough to hold off here. The gold disadvantage, the fact they've lost so many team fights, and the fact they're going up against a Baron are all worrisome. Here comes maybe a fight.
They've engaged on Freddy. They thought about going for it. Their wall of pain did come down, and the way he popped that defile, he was ready to go, ready for action. Didn't manage to catch him. Virtual this time. The hook on towards a minion is not going to be enough, but Freddy's taking a lot of damage. They do take the inhibitor down, and Against Authorities are going to back away from this one. They're going to go towards that top wave and see if they can push in.
Yeah, they still have half their Baron left, so 2 more minutes of that. They're letting the Baron region and the Terra Keels just keep them going on this one. If they get the 3 inhibitors, they're trying to take the safe way out, but there's a hook on a Freddy again.
Another hook on Freddy. This time the crescendo lands on towards Oslo and Hercubot. They push him away, but the Void Spikes come out. Now SK Gaming, they want to engage. It's going to be the Requiem coming out from the side, but it doesn't do a great deal. Yeah, Hercubot is taken low, though. The hook again. This time it's on Virtual. Not really the target they want to get, and SK Gaming just trying to hold off. They have an inhibitor respawning. They've got Super Minions on it down the bottom, but it is going to be Against All Authorities keeping pressure on the top lane. Now they're going to come in.
SK has to fight on the next wave if they want any chance, because their side lanes have Super Minions, and there they go!
They got the hook, Cataclysm down, NoNo's the target, can they finish him off? Yes, they can! That's the main man down, Freddy 122 got out, Candy Panda gets some damage, he's going to repel towards him, Freddy 122 down. They're going to have to deal with this one quick, because they've got Super Minions on the base. Slayer's running for the bottom inhibitor, he's going to get in, that is going down, there's nothing they can do about it, he's going to hit and run, he is off.
So they got the inhibitor, even though they lost the fight, and now Nif is trying to chase down onto Schley. He got the pull.
He flashes in, gets the lash, but Slayer just turns around and eats him for a living, but he's still shielding it up. Oh, Nosalot takes down Slayer. Brilliant play from Nif.
Yeah, the game's not over yet. They saved their... They did save their turn, but the minions just finished it. So they have 3 exposed inhibitors, 2 destroyed inhibitors. The Baron buff will be gone for Against All Authority, but the team fighting just isn't there. The cohesion is lacking for some reason. They had it in the middle of the game when they were winning all the fights, but it's starting to peel back again. Look at Candy Panda's items. 420 CS, 19,500 gold. This is the monster he wanted to turn himself into, so he can potentially destroy Schley when he dives in. If Freddy walks at him again, he's going to be able to kill Freddy before he dies to the Defile. This might be the moment SK wanted to get to. Both 80 carries are pretty much at max items. I could say that in quotation marks because NoNo could still sell his boots for a Zephyr or something. But when the game gets this long, the gold need and all the things that have happened before kind of stop mattering. Because if you get to those crazy 6-item builds, anything could happen because every individual is so powerful. The positioning and the preciseness in team fights is what ends up coming into account.
And what you can see there is Nif. Nif has more armor right now, 169 armor, than Nono with the Randians.
Well, how many souls does he have? He's got 152 harvested souls right now, so that's giving him 106 AP without any ability power items on this Thresh. It's a long game. He's stretching it, and this would be a... I mean, SK was winning.
Yeah.
Against all 30, started coming back. Greedy in the base. Crazy team fights. The next Baron still like 2 or 3 minutes away. If SK can somehow get their inhibitors to come back up, they'd be okay. But now, since they still have 2 down and a 3rd exposed, this is the moment where they have to hold if they want to come back in the game. If SK can stop against all 30 from getting this 3rd inhibitor, they might be able to come back.
So let's see if Nif can open it up. He lands the hook. It's Corelli as he pulls in. They put a bunch of damage out. Ocelot's got in. My word, I think that's a mistake though. Ocelot's just going to get burned, and that could well be the mistake they needed. SK Gaming now back in there running. Candy Panda's having to do problems. Hercules taken down. Freddy 1-2-2. Requiem's going to come out. Candy Panda might drop to that Requiem. Oh, look at the damage on Nif there. Just straight away melting. No is in there. They're trying to do as much as they can. Round the side. Slayer gets taken down. No with the double kill. Ace in the hole comes out, but he's not going to do a thing. It's going on to Virtual, probably the worst damage to go for it. And wow, just like that, the game is over. Against All Authorities will take victory against SK Gaming. Wow, they certainly fought for it.
Almost a 50-minute game. Now Candy Panda, the last remaining defender. Oh, really?
No. Can he hold it off? Can he hold it off? That's the question. I don't think he can. No, they're going to jump towards him, and wow. Wow. What a game. And against All Authorities, finally pick up a victory against SK Gaming. And I did not see that coming because that game was crazy.
You can see the players against All Authorities just sitting back and they're just laughing at this. They're like, how did we let this go so long? It got a little sloppy at the end of it, but great victory for them. They stalled long enough, and then, yes, they did close it out at the end.
Absolutely fantastic stuff. Great to see the sportsmanship as well between the players, but let's get over to the analysis desk to see what the hell they're going to select from that crazy back and forth match.